So now we are live, and welcome everybody to a session of the election of the Wine Queen, a live action online game, short laog, which was published in Gauntlet Codex Sunlight, beginning of this year. LARP originally written by Silvia Ochlast and Björn Butzen, and I transformed it to a live action online game and also made a couple of additions. However, the coolest feature in the game I have to contribute to Silvia and Björn, which also, after I played it, made me so excited that I had to translate it to an online game. We come to that later. I can already say it's about a drinking song. So this is a live action online game, which means we stay 100% in character when we are in a scene. However, the play is split in 3 acts, and between the acts, which consists of 5 to 8 scenes, we have 10 minutes time to reorganize what has happened, to re-establish something which we don't want to see, for example, or we can set up new scenes between the acts. So between this, we are more in the director's stance, and in the acts, we are 100% in character. And it's I sometimes also call this game a digital black box, because of these breaks, we are sometimes not in character, and because we play to be at different situations. Like I have other live action online games where you are actually behind your camera. Like you can be fully in character. Here we also have things like, for example, a dancing party where we dance together, although we are actually sitting, because we have to speak to our microphones and look into our cameras. Yes. Yeah, Pavel is making a wonderful effort. Yeah. So use your whole body, your mimic, whatever you can. However, we still need to have this recorded and or at least transmitted to the other people. So we can't go fully in. A digital black box LARP means that it's oriented itself from black box LARP. And black box LARP means that you can imagine you have like no decoration, also no props, but just a spotlight on you, on the characters which are currently in the scene. The others are not visible, which for our digital black box means when you are not in the scene, your video and your microphone are off. There is an exception with your audio, but I come to that later. So when you want to establish something in a live action online game, you can't say, and over there's a car which brings us home, but you need to establish that in character. Well, Pearl, we don't need to sit. We can also perfectly stand. That's totally fine, as long as we can see and hear you. So we need to establish that in character. So we say, oh, look, the taxi has already arrived. And there it is. And you can refer to somebody's ugly dress, for example, but you can't say what dress the other person is wearing. You can just say that in character. So that takes, for people who are used to tabletop, takes a little bit of time to get used to that. We can all make mistakes, and that doesn't matter. We will just let it flow into the fiction. We will also have themes, things like monologues. So black box LARPs is perfect for like having one person standing on stage, the spotlight on them, and just talking their inner monologue, what is going on inside of themselves. We come to that later. The tone of the game is serious and dramatic, and sometimes a little bit comedic for sure, but we will always try to bring it back to the seriousness. And what we will play, and now we come to the topic of the game, is an election of a wine queen. Wine queen elections are a tradition. However, they are not as old as many people think. They were invented in the 20th century only for marketing reasons. So wine regions in Germany wanted to have representatives on national fairs, or at least on regional fairs, for their wine to make it more popular, like the brand. And from these regional competitions, a national competition even evolved. And until today, we have national wine queens, which then represent German wine all over the world. These are traditional women. However, nowadays also men participate. Main reason is because there are not so many people who want to participate in there anymore. But who cares? Finally, it's cool to have it open to all genders, at least in some regions. It was like a beauty contest a little bit most of the time. However, you also need to know a lot about wine and about the local culture and be good in rhetorics, be easy with traveling, because for 1 year after election, you will represent your region. And that is the most important part. But it's not like there's no bikini contest or such nonsense in there. It's an election which mainly is about also an opportunity to drink wine again. Yeah, and they get a payment, but a low payment. However, traditionally, these wine queens are very respected. And at the moment, for example, one of the German ministers at the national cabinet is a former wine queen. She's the Minister of Agriculture. Yeah, and there are many other examples of former wine queens who have become politicians because they were able to meet important people in this 1 year they were in and made the best out of it, which is cool. And as you can imagine, they lean more on the conservative side of this political spectrum from the way these elections work. However, these regions are on a decline. Like global competition is harsh. Young people move to the cities. And so the decay of the region, also that this kind of elections are pretty outdated in the way they are, makes it a less fun event in some regions, and sometimes it's just to keep up the tradition and to keep up the face. And we play in the town of Himbeldorf, which is a fictional town, but you can find many of them in the Rhine and Mosel region in Germany. So Himbeldorf is one of these decaying small towns. There might be a local television crew there for the final day. We have like journalists from the local newspaper coming around and a few hundred people coming to the event because it's promoted all over the region. And maybe the governor of the region comes, and there's some handshaking and going on and so on. But it's a small event. It's a small local event, which is not as big and not as cool as it was on other days. Two of us will play the jury. That is Andreas and Antonia. We can decide about the gender. There's a default gender, which is Andreas, a male jury head, and Antonia is the female moderator. However, if you prefer switching that gender, the game still perfectly works. We have love interests, and we are all flexible, I think, in terms of what kind of love interests we have here, and are not bound to gender. And we have 3 candidates, Emily, Jona, and Franka. So also for the candidates, although they are traditionally all women, we can play them as any gender. That's up to you. Traditionally, or the default is women. So in this game, we have an X card for things which we want to exclude without any kind of discussion, and we can cross when we are in the scene. When we are not in the scene, we need to use the chat. So you should always be able to see the chat and can then write something like, I'd like to X card action hero jokes, for example. No explanation necessary. And as minor as you want. Don't think too hard about using the X card if you don't find something funny or interesting or cool, then it's already worth an X card. We will also have a largo in there, a typical LARP technique, which is when we think that we are too intense. This is like to make a scene less intense, and then you do this. We will practice this. Yeah, in terms of subject matter, we have discussed that before going into the recording. The game heavily plays on alcohol addiction, alcoholism, and also other drugs. Or each character has a drug addiction in this game. And we will also play actual alcohol as players. But we already discussed that we are careful and that we want to be good players all the time. We won't use the Roll for Your Party anonymous feedback feature because we can use the one here in the Google Hangouts window with you using /message and then the name of the character, the player we want to message to. Best to me as the facilitator. However, here already comes something which I recommend also for normal tabletop games is a facilitator often has a lot to do in games. And so also in this game, I provide a table with typical stuff, which usually all falls on the shoulder of the facilitator. And for some of these tasks, I would like to ask you if you could imagine taking over some tasks. I will explain them. And I will also send you the link if you're not yet in the document where we can enter information.
A weird question, but you're playing as one of the characters along with us, so you are just like moderator, not like game master.
Exactly. I would call this the facilitator in the sense that I guide you between the scenes, what has to happen next, what we should be in the lookout for, and so on. Yeah, but I'm just a normal character in the game. Exactly. No game master. Yeah. So what I will do is I give the orientation. This is what I'm doing at the moment. When you look at I can also screen share that actually. I think if I find it. It's on the other sheet. Yeah. Okay. So I do the orientation and also do the walkthrough the game. But I would like to have somebody to look for the time. So between the acts, you need to look that we only have 10 minutes to discuss what we want to see. So a maximum of 10 minutes. So you should have a watch somewhere next to you, maybe at your computer, to see when the 10 minutes are over so we don't get lost in discussing what to do next too much. And when we are 30 minutes before our maximum time, we should bring the game to an end. So that is, we play for 4 hours. So 30 minutes before these 4 hours are over, it would be nice if you could raise the issue that we're running out of time.
Okay, so I can do it. So like, is there some timer for the scenes or just for this like 10 minutes discussion?
Just the 10 minutes discussions. Yeah.
Okay.
Which happen twice.
Okay.
And then in the end. Yeah, that's all. The scenes have a different ending mechanism, to which I come later. Cool. Then I put
So
your
like,
name in here.
yeah, so like 10 minutes discussion, and then somehow remind you that the game is coming to an end. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Which means I don't have to think about time anymore, which is cool. Thank you. And tech help. So I had internet issues the last weeks. So if I disappear, for example, it would be great if one player could try to get in touch through various media and communication channels with me or the person who disappears, so that the others who might just be in a scene can simply continue playing. So this is what I call tech help, or if somebody suddenly their microphone doesn't work anymore. Does somebody feel comfortable with doing tech help on that? Otherwise, I can do that.
I can try. I'm at a friend's house and I don't know how reliable their internet is, which makes me nervous about being the tech person. But if
you already helped technically with the private communication shortcut.
I also lost contact with the call like really early on. So I can, like I said, I can probably do it. I just,
Yeah. I will put my name in there as well. So if you disappear, I get in touch with you. Cool. Next thing is rules. I'm there for you. If there are problems with the rules, I can help you. Like if you haven't understood something, just write it in the chat and I will get back to you. And
So
now
how many D10 dice I need for this game?
yeah, as many as you need to step onto screen, right? Yeah. The debrief. This is a structured debrief, and it would be great if the facilitator of the game, who was like providing the rules and was nervous about if all the players appear and so on, could relax directly after the game and somebody else poses the 2 questions.
I can
in the
do
game.
it.
Wonderful, Noel. Thank you. Now we are in this document, and it would be great if somebody, I will also, I simply can't help myself, but here there are tables with the scenes and what we plan to do. Like, for example, here you see that the player of Jonna can define a scene freely. And so then between the acts, we discuss what, and Jonna can decide what kind of scene they want and who they want to see in the scene. And somebody needs to update the document.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll try to keep the doc updated.
Cool. Then that was the last part. Yeah, thank you all for making this a collaborative effort of guiding us through the game. Cool. That was responsibilities.
I have a question. I'm sure maybe we will be discussing this later on, but as I understand, this game kind of has the element of us talking all at once. Like I think that's how does it work in like online scenarios? Because in normal life we can talk over each other, but it doesn't work in the online game. Like nobody understands what is being said. So how to approach this topic?
Yeah, that is true. Most scenes have just 2 people, sometimes 3 people in there. And other scenes with more characters are very structured. Because we are in a Wine Queen election, the candidates have to appear in front of stage and have to answer questions by the jury. And then you have a natural order of speaking because the moderator will tell us a little bit about your background. And so you have like a normal, like an in-character moderator. But yeah, that's exactly the point why laogs are not just like simply, yeah, take the rules and play that stuff online. That usually doesn't work, but you need to be careful exactly for these reasons. Yeah, but sometimes it's also nicely confusing to talk over each other. So now we come to the meta techniques and the workshop. The first and exciting one comes first, which is drinking. So we drink. And we already discussed that we are all comfortable with that and that we stay good players. I don't have a wine glass, unfortunately, so I take this one. But I can tell you my wine, I already tried it, and it's a wonderful Riesling from a German. Oh, and we have some wonderful other wines here. Oh, yes. Oh.
I think it's French, Cavalier Royal.
Wonderful, yes. However, nobody has to drink. So
I have fake wine. It's grape juice.
Wonderful, yes. So fake wine works as good, and for some people better. Yeah, indeed.
I forgot my wallet on the way over here, so I sent a friend in to get wine, and I gave wrong instructions. So I'm not going to show what wine I have because it is not Wine Queen worthy, I'm afraid.
Tetra boxes are totally okay.
Just kidding. The glass can be my representation.
So now we come to our first exercise, because wine drinking has rituals in it if you drink. And one of them is like that you toast, right? So in every country you have a different way to toast. Because this is a German game, we use the German toasting, and The one is Prost. So we can all practice that. So Prost.
Prost!
Prost.
Perfect.
I missed it.
Just say it now.
Prost!
Prost.
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 Wonderful. Like with a very hard R. The other one is zum Wohl. Prost is more for beer, and zum Wohl. Like zum Wohl.
Zum Wohl!
Zum Wohl.
Zum Wohl.
Zum Wohl.
Wonderful. That's proper. So when we're in the game, anytime, even when you're not in the scene, in the background, you can just secretly, I just give you a chance to show how that works. Like you're not in the scene, your camera is off, you're muted. I don't mute because then you can't hear me. And then you just take your bottle of wine and make some noises in the background or pour water. That's a kind thing to do. We will forget because of the excitement in the game, probably. But if you come up with it, just give it a try. It's hilarious. Or just say zum Wohl in the background. That works.
So even if we're not in the scene, right? Even if we are not in the scene, you can do it as a background
You
noise.
do
Okay.
yeah, that's a wonderful background noise. Okay, now we are there. Ein Prosit. Any player can at any time, so you don't need to be in the scene. It's even right to do it when you're not in the scene. Start this song, this MP3 file of this drinking song. And Noella has practiced it yesterday already at the Oktoberfest in Virginia. So Ein Prosit is a song which you usually play at an Oktoberfest. So it's more Bavarian, but it is played all over Germany. And nobody cares where it comes from. And it means that all discussions and conversations are interrupted and people start to schunkel, yeah, and sing in. Yeah. And whatever your mood was before, suddenly you smile, you cheer. Sit ein
Ein Prosit.
Wait,
Wonderful.
what's that ending bit? I feel like I have the wrong MP3. Oh no.
Well,
I was using
the
the
file I
YouTube-
sent around is a shortened one. I have like cut out a middle piece to make it a little bit shorter. Yeah, because you play it so often. If you shorter is better. But the longer one, come on, works as well.
Can you email me the link to that version? Because I don't have the right ending. I have the one from the YouTube one with like
yeah.
the counting and then Sufa and then
Yeah, that's the longer one. Yeah. On zwei, drei, super.
yeah.
Because that's what you do also at the end of the song, everybody drinks and if possible finishes his drink, which we shouldn't. But in Oktoberfest style, you would, just to guarantee everybody gets drunk. The link to the file is in this email thread with which we had today at the very first email. When you scroll up,
Okay.
yeah, there's the file. Okay. Yeah, thank you for already practicing that. And you also already provided us with the most important feature of Ein Prosit. The Prosit song is used for ending scenes. And we do so violently and brutally wherever the scene currently is. It's the right moment when it hurts the most to end the scene. So you can be in the middle of a conversation and somebody said something really ugly to you and you want to respond, but then somebody starts playing the song. That's the best way to start it. But also like when you think like, okay, the scene is over. You don't need to. You can also just say cut. When you're not in a scene, then put your mic on and say cut, and that also signalizes the scene is over. when you think the scene should be over, and be bold doing so. Like it's better to end a scene too early than too late. So play the song or say cut, and that way you end the scene. And when we play the song, we all put our video on, our microphone on, and sing the hell out of the scene until it's over. When the song is over, or when cut was proposed, we immediately start with the next scene. So scene after scene after scene. There's no break in between, no discussion. Discussions happen only between the acts. And when you look at the act structure, you see that after these 6, 7, 8 scenes, we then can reconsider. Yeah. Yeah. Pearl, you have a question?
Yeah, I don't anticipate that this is likely to happen, but you never know. If the players in the scene really wanted to finish the scene and it gets cut, there's no mechanism for them continuing. Like, that's just it, no matter what, right?
Well, my realistic experience is that even if somebody says cut, if the players still have something to say, they will simply go on.
Okay.
And that's fine.
I just wanted to make sure I understood the mechanic.
Yeah. It's it's
sometimes you're saving a line for the end. You know what I mean?
It's a violation, but a violation which is for the better of the game, and therefore a good violation of the rule. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. And people will do so. If they still have something to say, or they have like a punchline which has to go to the table, they will ignore the cut. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So this game, as I said, is has characters which are many of them are assholes or have like a negative opinion about other people, which they let them know, and so on. So they are people who have issues, and so it could get loud or unfair and so on. When we have slurs for others, we try to avoid sexist, racist, and other group-focused enmity kind of slurs. However, most of our slurs in our world are sexist, racist, or in other way mean to a minority. So we hardly can avoid that, but we try. Yeah. My recommendation is to find like ways to insult somebody on guilt, shame, or their ambition, which is also not okay, but we are playing these kind of people. Yeah, jerks. And so the X card for sure is in there. However, sometimes it's just about intensity of a scene. And for that, we have largo, which is in music when you play something slower. So largo, with your hands, you can do this if you don't want to put this in the scene. Otherwise, you also can simply say largo. And that is the way to intensify. I think that's not English, but you know what I mean. The scene.
So what is supposed to happen when someone does it? Are we supposed to just like break off the conversation, just like drastically lower the intensity, like?
Yeah, that's a good question, and this is why we should practice this a little bit. The idea of practicing safety techniques is something which in LARP happens much more often than in tabletop, and I think that's still something tabletop can learn. However, it's not easy to practice a safety technique because you always immediately think of something violent has happened, and why should you like actively create a violent situation? But like my favorite safety technique is that you have two players, and one is coming in real life. You can do that only. One is coming closer and closer to the other one, and at one certain point in time, you enter the intimate zone of the other person. So you just come closer, step by step, and look into the other's eyes, and the first person says at one moment, "Stop." And then you have already practiced safety, and something like that we also would like to do. The difficult part is we want to use the technique. So even if you don't feel you need to use it, you should use it, because this is a practice exercise. This is not real danger, so to say. Pearl, would you like to practice Largo with me? Is that okay?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would start being mean to you, and after 3-4 sentences, you say Largo or put your hands up, which means to me that I should try to be less intense in the way I'm onto you. All right?
Okay. And
And
for the
then I
purposes of the exercise, it's even if I'm not actually freaked out, right? We're just practicing the technique.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start. Okay. I'm imagining you are my worst enemy from high school. That's the easiest way for me to get like into such a mood. And so I say, hey Ingo, you have been such an asshole. When I see you one time again, if I see you again, yeah, I remember exactly what you did, and if I see you again, I will beat you up. I will like take your throat and push it as far as I can, and then when I see your eyes gulping out, you know what I will do? I will spit into your face. Oh, I when I see you again, then I will be very angry, and I think I will just turn around and go and let you alone. Okay. I saw that
Did I do
play.
it too early? I was like, I'm not going to get freaked out naturally. I have to just pick a point in time. I don't know.
That was perfect.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, that was perfect. I could see that you were using your hands, and so I could immediately say, "Ooh, okay, that was a little bit too much," and I stepped back. Noella and Vasilis, would you like to give this a try? Anybody has a preference of trying the technique? Vasilis, can you start being mean? Because Noella, you said that you want to be careful about this.
Rachel, I told you once, I told you twice. I don't understand how many times you need to hear this. Sometimes I think you're deaf. I mean, you keep squandering your years. Now you're not doing anything. You're just drinking and partying, and you're not doing anything with your life. I'm not trying to tell you, I mean, what to do, but you should maybe reconsider. Maybe take a step back and realize what you're doing, and maybe rethink things. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much. Noella, did that work for you? Vasilis, how was it?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's difficult for me if I if I go into the intensity, and also I think I don't know if I made it fast enough, because I have this makeshift thing for my camera, and it was right in front of Noella's camera window. So I'm not sure I saw it in time. I mean, I saw it clearly, but I'm not sure if there were a few seconds of too much. But yeah, I mean, it worked for me. But I think, yeah, it's most important if it worked for the receiver, for Noella. So.
It was fine.
Okay. Yeah, good that we practiced that. Pavel, you can choose somebody, and you can also choose which side you would like to be on.
Well, I think the hardest part for me is to be aggressive towards someone. So I would like to start this one, because I like to think of myself as a very peaceful person. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll practice with Vasilis then. Is that okay?
With whom do you want to practice? With Vasilis?
With Vasilis.
Cool.
Vasilis, like, what do you think you are doing? Your job here? You cannot like shout on the customers and just like tell them to fuck off. We have a business to run. Do you like keep working here? Like, this job requires you to be nice to people, do your job. Like, there are like boxes in the back magazine waiting for you to do something about them, and you are standing here looking at me like who do you think you are to look at me like this? Well, okay, like, listen, I know things have been hard for you, but just, let's come back to this discussion maybe some other time. Like, it will be good. Okay, yeah, see you later.
Yeah, that worked for me. I think I was a bit unclear with the gesture because I think I already had my hands defensively up here, so I don't know if it was clear enough, but I was fine with it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just noticed them where they were like up
Okay,
here.
cool. Yeah, no, that was
Here.
correct. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was cool. It was fine. Good.
Yeah. It looks like we lost Garrett, I
I was
think.
gonna say two things. One, I think we lost Garrett, and two, because the little squares at the bottom of the screen are narrow, I think if we can put our hands like pretty central so they don't maybe end up off camera, that will help.
That's a good suggestion. Yeah. Okay.
Who's in charge of tech? Is it me? I feel like it's me. He'll be back in a moment. Okay. Look at me being the tech person.
So out of curiosity, like, why do you have a setup to record full body movement?
Well, when I was reading it, it looked like we were going to be like dancing, like a dance party. And I thought like we would back up from our computers and dance maybe. So like not just the swaying. I thought we were actually going to dance. And so I figured we would need to see more than just like shoulders up. But I have moved. I am now sitting since that was why I went off screen for a while. Once it was mentioned that everyone was sitting and would just try to like do what they could in the window, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It would be nice to not stand for 4 hours straight.
Yeah. For a moment there, before you like wrote it, I was like really curious. Is Pearl standing for this whole time? But does she have like a standing desk? Because recently we have been discussing at work the possibility of getting the desk that you can like lift up and you can stand and work. But of course, not possible to get them. But I was like really curious. Are you standing down there and talking to us?
I'm glad somebody mentioned it.
Virtual dancing, that would be like really weird to be in the room moving and then well, if you had the microphone that are like Bluetooth that we can move with them, we could do that.
Yeah, I need to get a wireless headset eventually.
Yeah,
but,
me too. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I also need a wireless headset.
I tried finding one, but for some reason, most of them are made for phones, and they just don't seem to work with the way we play games. At least I wasn't able to force the wireless headset to at least the microphone. You can like have it in your ear and like hear stuff, but as soon as you want like it to work as microphone. Hey, Garrett.
I'm back. Okay.
We didn't start the character discussion because headsets came up, and I was going to though.
Oh.
And I can also just follow the order. And the last bit is video diary. I mentioned that already. That means inner monologue in LARP usually, and online we do this as a video diary. What does video diary mean? It means you are just completely alone in a scene, and you might, in character, use your phone to speak to yourself. Some people do that for their memory, or if it turns out they become famous, that somebody can make a biography. And but some people just want to get their frustration out on their video diary. So we simply speak about what's on our mind, and the best thing to do is to have like 1 or 2 questions in mind. For the defined scenes, we have that in. There are some free scenes where you could say, I like to have another video diary for myself there, which means you're just for a couple of minutes alone in this call. Everybody else is muted and camera off, which I promise you feels quite intense when you're just talking and nobody else is there. Well, Noella knows a little bit more about this by playing Last Words recently. But yeah, that is something. I will have the first video diary. Well, I don't, depending on which character I pick. But I think the concept is clear. You're just talking as an inner monologue in character. So this is also in character. You're not describing.
And the video diaries always end with a cut, or not with a normal posit, or.
As you can end it with a prosit, so anybody can end the video diary with starting prosit. But for the video diary, often, because you're just alone in the scene, the easiest is to end the scene by just switching your camera off, and the video diary is over. Roger and out, so to say. Yeah, but you might come up with something even more interesting. So this is also a little bit of flexibility in here. Okay, so we have characters and characters to choose from. And I recommend that you read a little bit into them. Like what I like about the Codex Sunlight document is that the first part of each sentence is highlighted. So that helps a little bit to understand what this character is about. But then there's also this diagram, the relationship map, which helps a lot to understand. So I will also screen share that with you, just in case. So Franca is already given to Noella. And I would play the jury head because I'm curious how he plays out. I would play with Andreas. He's an entrepreneur and he thinks he's charming. Maybe he is. It's up to you and your character to decide. Does anybody else have preferences? I can also give you a little bit of information about each, if you are not sure.
Oh, am I muted? I didn't even. No, I'm not. Okay. Of the three that I was initially looking at, two are now taken. So the third one that I was looking at would probably be Jonah or Yona. I don't know how it's pronounced, but the privileged, arrogant one.
Yeah, cool. Pick that one. So Yona would be the German pronunciation, like with a Y at the beginning, but it's up to you how you want your character to be pronounced.
Yona is fine with me.
And you're Yona. So I will also then enter that into our name description.
Yeah, sorry, I should be doing that. I forgot.
No worries. Who else has a tendency? Pavel, do you know what you want to play?
I think it might be interesting to be the host. Although I'm also a little bit scared because I personally have no knowledge about any of the winery business. And this person is supposed to, I don't know, be some kind of expert. So I don't know. It will require you guys to just yes and any crazy bullshit that I come up with, or something. But I think from the two, I'm more interested in playing Anton, the host.
Cool. Yeah. Let's be the host. And you can always refer to the jury head and say what the jury head has to say if you prefer that. However, I don't know much about wine, neither. And I have the additional challenge, but you maybe as well, that English is not my first language, and therefore some things I just don't know in English.
Yeah. Although I think I mostly overcame the fear of speaking with native speakers, but we'll see.
Same thing, but in a fantasy world, it sometimes seems easier. Okay, then Vasilis, then you are Emily the Innocent. Is that okay for you?
Yes, that is fine. Although I do have the first scene, which is a bit intimidating, but yeah, I'm good with the character. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. You need to decide about pronouns for your characters and names. You could do that in this table. So I already decided that I am Andreas, so he, him. For me, so Noella, is it which pronouns, and Frank or Franca?
I want it to be Franca and she, her.
All right. And Pearl, what about you?
I'm actually pretty torn. I guess I'll be a she, her. Just because I dressed up and did all my stuff, so might as well.
Cool. And Pavel, yours is Anton. Yes, I see. It's
Yeah,
Anton,
yeah.
him.
I decided to go with Anton, him. Since I also dressed up, not so much. I put on some shirt and some fancy hat. So why not?
Cool. And Vasilis, is it Emil or Emily? He, him, or she, him, or they, them?
I think, yeah. I think I will go with Emil. So he, him.
Cool. All right. Take a moment to read through your character and see if you have questions. We don't need to introduce them to each other. You have enough information about the others in your character description. But we will use the first scenes, the video diaries, to introduce our characters. Yeah, but take a moment to look at them.
I actually have a different PDF that I'm looking at. I hope it's the same. I have the Election of the Wine Queen, a digital black box laog, which is different from the Gauntlet publication. I hope it's the same.
Is it a Google Doc? What you have?
I have a PDF of the game, but it's not in the Gauntlet. I don't remember where I found it. I don't know if it's a different version though. I hope it's the same.
It might be that I sent around a link to the. Yeah. So yeah, Noella has the PDF.
I have that one too.
Sorry,
I'm looking at Codex.
Yeah. So in the Codex one is, I think, mainly simply layout, additionally and cleaned, like, and edited. So there's like the editing is erased some bad sentences and stuff and typos. But otherwise it's the same. All right. Do you have an idea about your character? We also have a break of 5 minutes. So if you're not needed for something else, you can also come back to your character.
Do we need to have questions for that we answer, that we talk about in the first scenes in the video diaries?
When you look at in the Election of the Wine Queen Google Doc, like the one we are editing, you already see that the scenes in there are planned out. I will also share that again with you because that's the last thing we discuss, and then we are nearly there. Here I'm looking at this table. When you see the first scenes of the act are video diaries by the 3 potential queens. And as you can see, for the innocent, for Emily, it's Emil, right? So for Emil, it's my dream, my greatest fear are the two questions you can base your video diary on.
Okay.
And then we immediately move to the next video diary by the ambitious, by Franka. Then we move to Jona. And then we have the march of the candidates. So the three queens, potential queens together, talking a little bit. After that, the jury head and the host have their video diaries. Finally, the host and the jury head meet together and discuss, like, do a little briefing about what the show shall be about. And then we have the show where everybody comes in and the moderator and the jury head will question the queens one after another and ask them in while the others are standing in the background. So you find a couple of questions in there and some help, Pavel. You can ask but make it all up. When this is over, then the first act is over and we come together out of character and discuss the second act. All right. Does that sound good to you? All fine. Do you think we could do a break until 1:15 and then return with all cameras off? We stay all off and the game begins with Vasilis as Emil doing a video diary. Yeah, and don't forget, I pause it, but for sure I will help you and also bring it in when we can. The video diaries are not exactly meant for that, but the latest, when the candidates are together, then we will for sure make use of it. Cool. Okay, then see you 1:15 or 16 past now. Yeah, see you then.
Oh, okay. Okay, is it on? Is it on? Okay. Oh, I think that should be. That's great. Well, hi there. It's so exciting, to be here to actually talk. We're here for the election. I am. My name is Emil Daubern. And I'm so excited to be here. I come from Himmelsdorf, as most of the candidates. I've lived here most of my life, actually. And my father, Anton, we've had the famous vineyards of past, the Dauberns. If you've heard of some very nice red wine with plum flavors and some cherry in it, that was exquisite from Himmelsdorf. That would have been us. That's my father's work. So I'm really excited. My dream is to basically represent Himmelsdorf in the whole world, not only in Germany, and that's why I'm part of this. I'm part of this contest now. I have so much love for the whole village, and especially for the vineyards. I remember gathering grapes with my father and um, you know other people from my family, my mother and my siblings. So it's really my dream to help us all. And I have some here. So cheers, cheers, toast to everyone. This is one of the better ones that we had a few years back. Um, Post, exactly. I'm also a bit nervous, as probably you can tell that, but I do hope that I can win this and I can help my family, because I've had some. I think I've disappointed the Dauben name in the past. A few years ago, I went into finances, a school of finance, and I wanted to build a family business and maybe start hotels. And I even had an internship. So my father and my family, they were paying for my bachelor's and for my master's, and then I had an internship which was disastrous. I had a little bit of a I'm
Moses.
Flüssigkeit. Ein
Der Gemütlichkeit. Prost, Prost,
Prost!
We're starting the Wine Queen competition soon. My best friend Emil has decided to run too. I'm a little worried because his dad is going to be the host. Although his dad likes me, so maybe that can help me. I love Emil, but I just want to be the Wine Queen so that people will stop treating me like an outsider, even though I've lived here for years. It just because my mom is from a different region, they just think we're so different. It's so frustrating. I just want to show them that I can be a good wine queen just as well as anybody else from the region can be. Because, I mean, maybe I'm not the most experienced person, but like there have been plenty of wine queens and princes that have won just because, they were a little more popular. So, I'm smart and I don't think I'm that ugly. So hopefully we'll be able to convince people that I'll be a good representative to go around the world. I mean, as travel as Yona is. But she's so pretty. Oh, I know they say it's not a beauty competition anymore, but God, she's so pretty and she's so talented. I'm worried about Emil, though, you know. He's not used to cutthroat competitions. Not that I think this will be a bloodbath, but I don't want him to be disappointed.
I'm frozen. I'm frozen.
Please sky.
I'm frozen.
I'm frozen. Alchemist,
Oh, well, here I am. I've been traveling, and I don't know, I'm back in my hometown, but this place is just so, but I kind of had some problems when I was traveling, a little bit too much drinking, which, you know, I'm from like a wine place. Like, I like to drink. What's the big deal? But I kind of embarrassed some of my peers in Munich, apparently. I think they were a little too sensitive personally. So I came back to just like build up some confidence and figure out what I want to do for my next move and feel like I can win this competition. And that'll kind of boost my spirits a little. I don't really want to be the wine queen, so I'm going to have to let people down a little easy once I win. But what can you do? Like, people have to, you know, we all do what we have to do. I will say, though, Franca, I wasn't really expecting anyone else, especially here, to catch my eye. You know, everyone around here is so boring, but Franca just, I don't know, she's kind of amazing. And I don't know, I actually feel like she's too good for this town and that she and I should take off for better things. But, you know, I don't know if she'd be down, but man, how did she even come? I guess she's not technically, like, her family's not from around here, but still, how did she end up here? I don't even know. Meanwhile, we've got Emily, like, talk about boring, never been away from home, so sweet, so innocent, and just so boring. So she should be easy to beat. I'm not even worried about it. You know, and then Milo. There's this dog that's been following me around. Oh, email. My apologies. But then there's Andreas, and I think I can convince him I can win. I mean, they need a capable wine queen. Their business is like a little bit on the rocks. So I feel like having traveled and like I should be the easy sell, probably. Then there's Antonia. I don't know about, or Antonia. I don't know about them. I like their kid is in the competition, right? So I'm gonna have to figure out Anton's situation and how I can win him over his own kid. Maybe I think Anton doesn't trust Andreas, so maybe I can like play them against each other a little bit, or get Anton like to think that maybe having his kid spend a year with Andreas maybe isn't the best choice for the family. I hope so.
Hey! Oh, you're here. Wow, both of you. Is it?
Emil, how you feeling?
Oh, wow, it's so exciting. I mean, I can't believe it's happening. Franca, it's happening. Wow, wow. Oh, I really hope I live up to this. Um, uh, the expectations are. I don't know. I think. How are you feeling, Franca? Well, I'm really glad you're here with me.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I had a little pick me up before this started, so I'm feeling fine.
Oh, Yona. Oh,
Can
Yona.
do.
Oh, hello, Yona. How are you? I'm Emil. Nice to meet you.
Emil, oh, it's nice to meet you too.
I've heard a lot about you.
Have you?
Yeah,
I've heard good things.
traveling abroad. Well, I've stayed here, apart from a small internship that lasted a very small amount of time. But wow. So, how long have you been back?
Not long, a couple of weeks, but it's good to be home. Good to, this competition, right? Like it's a tradition. So I thought I'd partake a little bit.
Have you been to the vineyards yet? Have you been back to the vineyards? The vineyard.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have so much good wine around here. I really, fancy a glass whenever one's available. Really, how about you? Prost, indeed.
Well,
Franca?
Zum Wohl.
Very nice to meet you, Yona.
It's exceptionally nice to meet you. And you, Emil, as well.
Likewise.
I hope we can all be friendly. Like we're competitors, but I like to think we're all, good people, right?
Yep.
I mean, Himmeldorf. People in Himmeldorf, I think we all have a good heart.
Yes, everyone here. So good and pleasant. And
Tell me about you were in the US. You were in America, right? I mean, did you try wine there or what?
Emil, give her a little space to breathe.
Sorry, I get too excited.
oh, it happens to the best of us. But I don't think the wine anywhere else is going to be as good as what we have here, right?
Of course.
That's why we want to be wine queens, to champion our wines all over the world.
I mean,
I'm already almost done with my first glass. That's how great it is.
I do get drunk a bit easily. I have to take care of it.
So you're pretty invested in this, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to. I love this village, and I also want to live up to my dad's dream of me. So, and you are good. You want to move back here, right? Because if you win, you will have to represent Himmeldorf all across the world, right? So that's quite a commitment, isn't it?
Well, I like to travel anyway, so it works out pretty well. I don't think I'm the sort to settle down in one place necessarily. So the travel part should be good for me. And if there's wine to sample elsewhere that we can beat out with our local stuff, then all the better. Prost, huh?
Cost.
To Himmeldorf.
I'm a bit anxious about the round and the questions and.
You'll be fine.
Do you think so, Franca? You think so?
I mean, just pretend it's like school.
Yeah.
I feel like you're maybe getting a little wound up here. There are only 3 of us. It's a local competition. I feel like it's going to be all right for you.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, pretend it's like school or like trivia.
I
Prost!
Nothing better than a good drinking song to start the day with. Oh. Well, or two or three if necessary. You look good today, man. Yeah. How many times have you done this now? 15? 16? Oh, yes. But as always, the first one is the best one, isn't it? I remember in the 80s, when I was not yet on the jury, but like looking around and checking out the contestants. Oh, I remember Sabine, this hot chick, yeah. She was great, yeah. Not such a good queen that year. That's a problem. That will be the problem. In all the years which came, fuckability was the only reason for the jury. And I have to admit, I'm guilty myself. I had all my reasons to select wine queens. But also tastes, develop, like a good glass of wine. In the past, I was into sweet wine or a deep red wine. Nowadays, I prefer something with some more nuance. And the greatest thing is Anton. Anton has made the decision. I really don't understand, but has made the decision to bring Emil into the ring. Emil is such a cute, dumb face. If I can make it to give him hopes to win the championship, maybe at the party tent night, we can have a good time. However, unfortunately, the only competent character in the round will betray us all. Like, Yona is not to be trusted. I need to convince Anton that Yona is good as it looks like. She's my niece, but that doesn't mean anything. Maybe there's a way to push her a little bit to get a good notion of what it means to be a wine queen. Otherwise, we still have Franka. And I mean, Franka is crunching her chips all the time, and that's good. As long as we can provide her chips, she would be a good queen. We have a good option with her. She's not from here. We need to somehow cover that. Like, she need to show like a little bit of passion towards the people from Himbeldorf. Like, living here for 30 years is nothing. My generation is sparking back into the Middle Ages. Yes, it does. Anton is still angry on me because of this accident. I mean, the machinery I was providing, that wasn't my fault that they exploded. I told him to change it to a newer model. They didn't. What shall I do? Well, that's Anton. Has always been. Always too shy for some risk. Yeah! I'm
froze again. This time I'm frozen. Froze.
What a peculiar situation I find myself in. We are to select the wine queen soon. The business is not doing so well. Some accidents, and in general, the winery is not so good. so much money has been spent on Emil's education, and so I decided to submit his application because he himself wouldn't, so I sent it. I really hope he can win and start being a profit for the family, because we really need it. But then there is Andreas, a handsome guy that rents me his equipment, a weasel, and I had no idea how he managed to stay at the head of the jury all this time.
Zum Wohl.
Jona is back. Emil's friend Franka is also competing, but let's be like really honest. Emil has to win it. I'm not sure about this business, but he has to win to help the family. I'll have to see what Andreas think about this and to keep his hands off Emil for whatever reason. I will be handling the opening, and other scenes have to write the script. Like it's a little bit stressful to be the host, but who knows? I'm really hoping this will help the winery. People will remember where it was held, and in our wine, I will give a box to everyone because people will not buy it anyway. So I can as well give a box to everyone. I really hope it goes my way. Well, zum Wohl.
They are playing it too early again.
Yeah, I told them to set up the equipment and practice before everyone gets here. So they must be doing just this. Anton, my friend.
Good to see you, Anton. Good to see you. We haven't talked for a while. Are you still angry on me?
Well, one of my warehouses burned down. All the wine inside.
I'm so sorry, guy.
Like, and your company is still refusing to pay the insurance, but
it's like hell. Insurance companies are just bullshit. Huh?
Aren't they? Yes, I totally agree with this. Zum Wohl.
But let's come to that back later. We have some time after the competition. We need to prepare for stage, right? We have some really ambitious people here today, and I heard your son is among them.
Yes. Emil was really excited to apply this year and starting this competition. I'm really proud of him.
Oh, these fruits are really tasty. Yeah, but do you think that Emil is ready?
Definitely more ready than Franka. I don't want to be too negative about your niece. Yes, was it?
Yeah, Jona. Yeah.
Yes. She's well traveled, but I don't know. Like this, I think this has to be someone from a real family that makes wine, not just like rents equipment. This will be a better message.
Yeah, but a little bit shady, isn't it? Like when you, as the moderator, elect your own son into this, huh?
Well, shady. We are the jury, yes. So that's just one person in the jury. I would very much be very happy if you share my point of view, but.
Well, we have shared much more in the past than just point of views, huh?
I say what happened in the past better stay in the past. But
Exactly my saying, and this is why you should also stop talking about exploding machinery. Huh? You got it.
you are so quick to Symvol. You are so quick to go over the business matters, just to the competition, yes, and drinking wine. Didn't you already had too much, like these 3 empty bottles?
Well, I can drink a lot. I'm used to it. You're not the only one who grew up on a winery. I also had like several friends, and I was visiting them all the time. I mean, and
Froze it. I froze it.
I'm
I'm frozen. I'm frozen. I'm in the middle of something.
Is this working? Oh, yeah, yes, it's working. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this year election of the Wine Queen 2019 in our wonderful Himbeldorf. I greatly welcome you. I'm Anton. I'm the host. This is like my wonderful winery. But we are not here to speak about me. May I present to you the head of the jury for this year, Andreas.
hello, everybody. Yes, I'm back again. Your favorite Andreas in town is back again out of the 120. And I'm back again, and I hope we are live. I'm very happy that Radio Antenne Mosel is also here and is live streaming also on the internet. That's the first time we are on the internet, so nobody should say anymore that Himbeldorf is still stuck in the 20th century, right? We are on the internet. Yeah, Anton, what kind of candidates did we bring this year? Like, who is like a promising wine queen for us this year?
Of course, let us meet the candidate. Emil, please join us on the stage.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you very much. I'm so excited and emotional to be on this stage. This is my hometown, of course, as everyone's. And my name is Emil Dauben. I am excited from the big family, Dauben family, and I promise to be a big wine queen that will make Himbeldorf like the sweetest wine capital, not only of Germany but of the world. I'm so excited to be here.
Symvol to Emil.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Happy to have you, Emil. Yeah, I still remember you when you were just a kid and like sitting in the audience and looking with big eyes and on this crown, and now you finally have the chance.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity, Herr Andreas. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Emil. Yeah. And if you ever need like to understand something more about this competition, our family.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the next person. Let's welcome Franka.
Franka! Who is this?
Hello, my name is Franka Vollman, and I have lived here for a long time, and I'm very excited to represent us on the world stage to show the world the beauty and taste of our wines.
Great to have you, Franka. And I'm very proud of you that you have learned already like the dialect from the region. And it seems your family has established themselves here. I'm very happy. I'm very happy for you and your family that you found a new home here.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the last of the candidates, Miss Jona Bickerberg.
Bravo, Jona!
Thank you all so much. First of all, I want to make sure we all give a hand to Franca because we didn't get to give her a round of applause after she introduced herself, and she's such a lovely candidate. So we take a moment for Franca. So happy to have such lovely fellow people up here on the stage. I'm Jona, and I've been away from town for a while, but it's so good to be home.
He's already trying to teach us how to do this properly.
What a wonderful opportunity to be in a competition that would allow someone like me or any of the contestants to represent our community and our wonderful wines all over the world. I mean, I'm just grateful to be here. Of course, may the best contestant win, and I'm sure any of us would do a wonderful job because we're all so dedicated. So thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be back in town, and I'm so happy to be here. Prost, huh? Best wines in the world.
Prost!
Prost, Jona. Yeah, it's good to see you again, and you seem to have changed a bit.
Well, traveling around really makes you appreciate where you came from. I mean, you know me so well, Uncle. But
Anton, is it okay if we start with some questions to the candidates?
Yes, of course. Let's do around the questions, of course.
Yeah. Before our coming home kid is trying to teach us how to do a proper wine election, I thought we established some rules here. So, Jona, you have returned from various travelings and so on. Maybe you are the best candidate to ask the following. Okay, imagine the following. This is just role-playing. You're not really in that situation, okay? Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm, of course.
Good. Yeah. So, imagine suddenly on the street while you are on your way to work. Well, I don't know you. You're not working here. You're just visiting, I know. But imagine that. It's role-playing. That a Japanese tourist from Heidelberg has accidentally ended up here and is here with his camera and wants to know what is worth visiting in Himbeldorf. So how would you explain them? And beware, you don't speak Japanese, or whatever their language is.
And they don't speak any English or any German at all?
Make an effort.
Well, I mean, especially if I were the wine queen, I would probably be carrying around, some information on our local wineries that would hopefully have a map on the back with some locations, and I'd be able to just, I think through pictures and the map, gesture and smile and, just try to be inviting and welcoming in whatever ways that I could without using verbal language.
What was that word?
Verbal? Like if I can't speak their language, I can always use, gestures and pictures and things to try to communicate and to still welcome them to our community and maybe direct them.
Yeah, I got it. I understood herbal language. I thought, what is she talking about? What has she learned in whatever country she has visited? Okay.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Thank you very much for this, and a big applause for our first candidate and for asking. This is quite a courageous step to go on stage here and asking in front of such an audience. Big applause.
Do you have questions to other candidates, Andreas?
I would have, yeah, but I mean, I don't want you to pose questions to your own son, so I will take that over. Emil.
Zum Wohl to Emil.
Emil.
Hello, Andreas. Yeah.
One question. What kind of different flavors of regional wine do we have here in the region, and which don't we?
Okay, this is I should know this. Well, first of all, we have the plum flavored Cabernet. Yes, we
Yeah,
do have that. We
this
do have
one.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
We have the cherry and pine flavor of. I think it's Pinot Noir. I keep confusing that one. I know it's close to another one. But yeah. But I do know we have no Weissburgunder. We do have a Riesling. Exquisite Riesling is like these white grapes. Um,
You have some more wine for me? Thank you. Sorry,
I,
don't go.
I love all the wines that we have here, and even the ones that we don't have. I think there is this is a magical place. We could sow the seeds of a new vineyard. I think we could have all these, like this Weissburgunder that
Sorry
is
to
not
interrupt.
here.
Franka, can you help him a little bit? Because I think he's missing the point.
Andreas, maybe let's not start with the this is like the introduction. Let's not start with the hardest possible questions that you can ask to a seasoned winemaker. These are just they will have some time to learn.
I mean, I think I'm sure Emil is just, it's very flustering to be on stage. And I know Emil knows all about like Gewürztraminer and
Has anybody asked you?
I'm just saying that I think Emil probably is very
Okay.
knowledgeable.
Okay.
It's just slipping my mind, Andrea. Sorry, I do know this. I've tried these wines. I sometimes I have my memory. I have a problem, especially.
Okay, next one. Hey!
It's okay.
Oh, Emil, I don't mean it like this. Okay, we all check off. Act 1 is over. The stage is set. We have 10 minutes now to plan the next scenes. After the second act, we have a break, but if you're okay, we continue here without a break. So 10 minutes out of character to have a look. So what is planned is that each character can define one scene however they like, and then also invite others in. So when you look at the table, you see that we start with a scene for Jonah, and then we have a scene for Emily, and all the scenes can happen shortly before or already at an important party. We have the drinking fest, the wine tasting, where all the important people are invited. It's a huge party in a big party tent next to the river Mosel, and beautifully located, fantastic scenery. And we get drunk. So you can think about having a scene directly before, maybe another video diary if you prefer, or you invite somebody in and have a one-on-one or 3 people in a scene. That's up to you. But I would strongly recommend a one-on-one, that you are with somebody else, and think about how and where you would like to meet. Yeah. And then after we have seen scenes from the privileged, the innocent, and the ambitious, we have the dance. And the dance is mechanically a little bit different. We start with 2 people, with the jury head and the moderator, so Pavel and me, and we dance together. And then one of us, then somebody else enters, and one of us leaves the scene because it's like switching dancing partners. So we go around and everybody can go out and somebody else can go in, and we do this on a natural way that people enter and people leave. And we continue the conversation like this. That's the dancing scene. And after that, we have 2 more scenes defined by us. And finally, everybody is in one taxi going home from the party. And everybody is very drunk. Yeah. So, yeah, then somebody already has an idea for a scene. I have one.
So it looks like the first one is me with the focus. So me plus someone else. And I could see either Franca or Andreas. So if either of you has a preference, and or if like your scene later you wanted to do it with me, I can do mine with the other, or
I can do it with you.
okay. So we'll start off perspective of our dear privileged and our ambitious.
Yeah. And what do you want to see? Like, where's the scene located?
My thought is it's well, we're at a wine and pretzel tent party. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe like just people are milling about, and I managed to find Franca in a relatively secluded spot. Like I imagine nothing is actually private, but just like on a side somewhere at a little table. And I seek her out to talk to her.
All right, maybe behind the tent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of the time, the wine queens are and the moderators, the jury are on a table on the stage, so everybody can see them. But sometimes you might be able to move out and have some privacy.
Maybe it's right before the actual official party starts and we have to be on the stage.
Yeah.
Would that work?
Perfect. Yeah, I noted that in the sheet. So it's all entered there. So we can have a look when the scene starts to see who is in and what is happening when. So we have now we have Emil. Emil, do you have an idea for a scene? And with whom?
I think maybe with Andreas, he will try. I think Emil. First of all, Andreas invited him to talk to him if he needs any help, and also he wants. I think Emil wants to apologize for the blunder a bit and prove that he's worthy of being a queen.
Mm-hmm.
If that's okay, or if there's another idea, I can also change that.
Perfect. That's perfect.
And then the location. I was thinking of a similar place. I mean, secluded, so not exactly, definitely not on stage. It would be, I don't know, so outside.
Let's say there's a wine cellar. So it's like actually in the basement.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's where you might find condoms next morning. Yeah, that kind of place. Okay, then we have Franca.
I would like to have a scene with Emil and maybe giving him a pep talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And where do you want? Is that at the table, at the party, or?
Yeah, I can have it be like maybe the party has started, but like we're not really talking, so I'm like leaning over and like whispering to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we have the dancing, and after the dancing, Anton, you can define a scene.
I think the jury already had a scene. I think it would be nice to have it with I think with Fiona. Like, I think Anton will be interested in finding out, because he knows Fiona is a better candidate, but he isn't sure about this. I think this is like at the party, sitting drunk at one of the tables in the corner. Unless we want to move somewhere, I don't know, whispering at the party. Yeah, sitting drunk in the corner. Makes sense.
Works for me.
Cool. Then it's my scene. Yeah, that's like at the very end of the act, you don't know where the story has gone, so it's totally okay to flexibly change that while the game is going. That's the nice thing about collaborative online tools. We can change what we wrote there and who is in the scene. But I think it would make sense for me to meet Anton at that stage. And I think we are on stage, but the music is so loud and everybody is by now so drunk and that we can talk about private stuff and smile at the audience from the stage and still have a private conversation. Okay, yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, and then we have this taxi ride home. And no matter if we want or not, we end up in the same taxi together. Yeah, I also repeat what Pearl has said. Is it everyone cool with what happened so far? And say, I am.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Perfect. Noella is back in a minute. So we have some time.
I think we'll go away for a minute as well. I'll be back as soon as possible. Yeah.
Do so, yeah. Yeah, the third act will be the crowning.
This jury discuss at the end will be amazing. I mean, oh.
Yes.
So we are supposed to ask some questions in the final speeches? Ask questions, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, and the opening speech by you is like there you can come up with whatever else has happened completely free. Most surprising moments, loveliest comment, heartbreaking moments. Yes.
Okay, so the time is up. So as soon as people get back, we should start.
Yes. Thank you.
And we still have 2 full hours almost.
Yep. Which is cool.
So how often have you playtested this game?
3 times.
And you never get to play the jury head?
No, I was Anton and I was Emily. And somebody else.
Oh, Franca, I'm so glad I was able to run into you before we have to go do all the official things.
Oh yes, me too. This kitty got out, so I had to go catch her.
You're so sweet. I'm not surprised that animals would just, fall into your arms. You have a really, I don't know, soothing demeanor.
Oh, thank you.
And you're so sweet to Emil. Like, I'm happy that we got to meet. People in this town, are lovely, but I feel like I haven't met anyone like you in a long time, and didn't expect it coming home. And you were so good on stage, and I'm just really happy that we get to know each other a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to hear more about your adventures.
Oh, thank you. Have you ever thought about traveling yourself?
I would like to. Hopefully, if I do have the chance to become the wine queen, that'll help me get out there. I've been to different parts of Germany, but not really much besides that.
Well, I've loved traveling. I mean, it's great to be home, don't get me wrong. But traveling is just so wonderful. But I think it's really better with a companion. And I mean, who knows how the competition's going to go. But even if Emil won, if you want to see the world, I know I intend to go traveling again, and I could use a friend. But even if I were to win, like, I don't see why there can't be two of us on the road. Like, the more the merrier. Like, if we can represent the town. And I mean, surely you must want to get out of here a little bit, right?
Yeah, and I can't think of anyone better to travel around with.
You're so sweet and so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit carried away, and I've had a bit of wine and all that, but I'm just so happy we've met, and I'm hoping we can spend more time together,
Of course.
on stage, off stage.
You're such a lovely woman.
Oh, you're just gonna make me blush. Will you sit next to me at the table?
Sure, although I think hopefully Emil can be on my other side. He needs a little encouragement.
Sure, yeah, he seems a little bit flustered by everything. Unlike you, I just,
Thanks.
Gross. Gross.
Oh, hey, Andreas, are you in the cellar? I'm coming down. Oh, going down the steps.
Be careful, I take your hand to help you down.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, it's quite damp here. Wow, yeah. This is one of the cellars in my family, close to my family, that I haven't visited.
You
lately.
haven't. You don't know anything about this cellar?
I don't remember coming here often. No. Well, but if this is the place where the dance is, then we can be here. But
take this glass first. Drink a sip.
Oh, thank you.
This is proper. This is proper stuff. This is not wine. This is strawberry bowl. This is like some liquor with strawberry juice, so you don't taste it so much.
Yeah. About that, I wanted to apologize. I do know our wines here. I'm not. I joined the contest for that, and I hoped you would understand that. So I wanted to apologize for that, and maybe I will prove. I'm sure I will prove myself.
You're talking too much, Emil. There are other things in life which are more important than talking. You know what has happened in this cellar already? I think your father went here at the night when you were created.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, and did you know that I once went with your father here?
I didn't. Oh, am I blushing? No, I didn't. No, I didn't know that. I mean, some people have said, no.
You start talking too much again. Shh. Drink some more. Come on. Here. So, do you want to win this competition?
I need to win this competition. Hey, Andreas, I feel like I've shamed with what I've done so far. I've shamed the Dalban family name. I feel I can prove myself worthy, and you're such a nice person and a jury. And your hand. Yeah.
I see. Wait a second. What you need to win this competition, that I tell you from 30 years of experience, is trust. Trust between the audience, the jury, and the contestants. You can win the trust of the audience by being tight. And well,
That's what I want.
our dear host is your father. But if you want to be close to me, you should do the proper preparations for this. And you know what the proper way to drink this strawberry is?
I'm frozen. I'm frozen. I'm frozen.
Empty.
Oh, Franka, wow.
Emil, are you okay?
What, Franka? Oh, you won't believe. Oh my God.
You look very flustered.
I came back from. I just had a very improper. Very improper
Here.
encounter. Give me some of that wine and some of that. Is that peanuts? What is that?
Here. And then take here. Here. My hand under the table. There's a I have a special brownie in my hand. Take it and eat it. It'll help you feel better.
I actually don't think I felt so. I can't believe what has happened. I don't even know if I can talk to you about this.
We can. Don't worry. We can talk about it after this. Just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Once we finish this party, we'll have time to wind down and regain our composure. Just take a deep breath.
I mean, here, Andreas, I never knew. Oh, wow.
Wait, what did he do?
We did some things. We. I mean, I
didn't.
I met him at the. I met him at the cellar, and oh my God, I didn't think.
Did you do it?
Yes.
Oh my God!
I gave,
like all of it, or just like touching?
I think so. No, it wasn't. Definitely not just touching. Oh God. What have I? I mean, is this how how the only way I can further the name of my father, Anton? Is this? I mean, don't tell anyone, please. I swear, you don't.
I won't tell anyone. I promise.
Okay, you don't tell
Secret
anyone.
is safe with me.
And come on, I deserve this. If there's anyone who deserves this, I mean, it's me. I've spent 21 years of my life in Himmeldorf. It's not like your family is not even from here. All of it. So it's me that I should.
What do you really think of me? I'm frozen. I'm frozen. I'm frozen. I'm frozen.
Oh. Time to dance, like every year. Anton.
I never thought it will be so weird. It reminds me of some time ago, you know.
Of which time? Of our time.
But some time ago, you and me were closer.
Oh, that close, yeah. I remember, yeah.
I just hope you will behave yourself and you don't have any dirty thoughts this time. I don't want anything to happen at my winery.
Anton, you're just too old for me. I'm just into younger ones.
I'm watching you. Just keep your hands off my son.
And if? I mean, come on, everybody, he can do whatever he wants, huh? What do you think? What do you
Andreas,
think if I fuck my son? You know what I can do best, right? You remember?
you remind me of I don't know. This was all times.
And your son is as good as you are. Well, with a little bit of training.
You wait. What are you trying to tell me?
I just need more wine, I think. What do you think? Oh.
Uncle Andreas, can I cut in for a minute? I haven't seen you much since I got back to town.
Oh. I think I just said something which made somebody very angry.
Well, then all the better time to step away, yes?
Jona, you should leave town tomorrow. I think I don't want to see you in this competition anymore.
How can you feel that way about your own niece? I came home just to be here and see family and do things like this.
You don't belong to Himbeldorf anymore. Come on.
Why do you think that? Just because I traveled a bit?
You
Sometimes
betrayed
going...
your town, you betrayed your family. Get the shit
Betrayed?
out of me. I will beat you down on stage if you appear again.
Why?
Can I cut in?
Oh.
Yona, I would love to dance with you.
Sure. Uncle, I'm sure we can talk about this more later. Franca, it's so nice that you've come to dance. I'm so happy to see you. Are you enjoying the party?
It's been all right, and I thought about it, and you know, after the competition's over, I would love to just take off with you. I think traveling with you would be just the most wonderful thing.
So happy you feel that way. I've been thinking about it all evening since our chat earlier, and I can think of all the adventures and mischief we could get into, and I think it'd be wonderful. Cheers to that. Prost, huh?
Zum Wohl!
I've had good times here, but I think it's just time to go somewhere new.
I think you could not be more right. Someone like you, beautiful and smart and everything, you need to see the world, and the world needs to see you as well. And I've been around a bit, and I would be so happy to show you everything I've learned about other places and everything I've learned in other places. You pick up.
So where should we go? So where should we go first?
Go everywhere. Let's go everywhere, I think. But I don't know, somewhere where we can be free. Amsterdam, maybe?
Yes, that sounds lovely.
Doesn't it? We could do anything there. Anything we want.
Franca,
Oh, hello, Anton.
how are you enjoying the competition so far?
It's been all right so far. How about you?
Oh, it's really wonderful. Everything happens over here at our winery. Such a wonderful opportunity to promote the region and this place.
Yes, well, I'm excited to see how the competition ends.
Oh, aren't we all? I think you would make a wonderful wine queen. But I was just wondering, can you maybe talk to Emil, just give him some hints.
Well, I've tried my best, but unfortunately, I don't think he really wants my help.
How so?
Well, I've been friends with Emil for a long time, but I don't think he values our friendship as much as he once did.
Dad, let's dance.
Emil, such a nice to meet you. How's it going so far?
It's going great. I feel like I'm riding a wave. I
Cool.
Post. I think, Dad, I think I can win this. I know. I think I know. Understand what sacrifices and what has to be done to preserve the family name. And I'm excited. I'm also be drunk. Post.
Emil, you scare me. What is this secret you have learned?
Oh no! Just let me hug you. There's nothing. There is no. Don't worry. It's all good. I'm just following in your footsteps, so to speak. I love this. I love this wine. I love the atmosphere of this whole tent. It's it's amazing, isn't it? Isn't this what you wanted me to be?
Yes, Emil. I wanted you to win, of course. Like, why else would I send your application to take
Yes,
place in
I
this
know you were.
competition?
I know you were disappointed, and we are full. We're up to our neck with the accident, and I think I think I will be worthy of the name of the family name. So let's just sway to this. What is this? Is this a valse? What is this? I should know this.
Mm-hmm. It's a waltz. Yes, you got this one.
The Himbeldorf valse. Aren't you proud of me? Tell me, aren't you proud of me?
Yes, Emil. I'm your father. I was always proud of you. No matter what happened in your life, I was always looking forward for you to get some success. So
Mom would be so proud if she was here.
Anton.
I'm
proud.
I'm
proud.
proud.
I'm frozen.
I'm proud. Bro. Yona, so nice to get to meet you. I don't believe we had that a time since you got back to town.
No, we haven't. But I thought this would be a perfect moment. We're here at the lovely dance, and we've got all this wonderful wine here.
Of course. So are you staying for long this time?
Well, I suppose it depends. If I, manage to win the competition, then no, because we'll be traveling. But otherwise, I think it's good to be home. Whenever you're traveling, you realize what you've missed. So that's one of the reasons I want to be wine queen, is that I just have realized what's so lovely about our town and everything we produce, and I would love to introduce that to the rest of the world. Bring our home.
But are you really certain you have been so far, traveled so far? You really want to get back to this town and stay here? Like, if you've been in America, you can like, I don't know, promote their wine. Yeah, I don't have to take part in some competition.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to promote wine from elsewhere when we have the best stuff here, right in our town. I mean, I think because I've traveled, I know the cultures of a lot of places, and I think maybe I could use that to find entryways into promoting and spreading the word about what we do here. It's, I mean, I'm lucky to have been able to travel as much as I did, but there's nothing that compares to the wine from here. And I don't know. I like the idea of spreading it to the rest of the world a little bit.
Yeah, I have to tell you, you are like, with all of your education, you are the best candidate, but I just don't know. I'm not sure if you are like really, you have the knowledge, you have the skills, you have the presentation. Obviously, you know how to deliver a presentation in these universities of yours in the States. They taught you everything. Your words are so nice, but small. But this place, like, I'm not sure. Like, I worry that you are just here for the summer break and then you will go back to your states, and what then? We will not hold the competition for the whole year. What happens if I don't know? Are you like done with the studies? Anyway?
Am I what? I'm sorry.
Are you done with the universities?
Yeah, I think for the time being, I just, being away from home is lovely, but I really wanted to get back to my roots a little bit, and I think I want a break from studying, and this would be a whole new adventure. I would love to accompany you, and really bring our culture and the wonderful things we have to offer. I think people think of this as just being, I mean, if they even know about our town, just some provincial town in the middle of nowhere, but like, we should put this town on the map. We make wine that, I mean, I have to stop myself from drinking too much of it. It's so delicious. And, people should know, and they should be ordering it from your company and, your winery, I should say. And, it would be a privilege really to be a part of that.
Your words are wonderful. They are like really nice to hear, but I'm really worried that you will just this is just another thing in your CV, and maybe you should just get back to it. Like, I don't know, go travel. This is like,
I've done that already. I want to do something meaningful. I mean, when you say another thing for my CV, it's not really for my. Oh.
Hi, bro. Bravo. Yeah, some more 80s music. Yes, yeah, I love it for the young people among us.
Hello there, Andreas.
Andre, Anton, can you? Yeah, it's sorry, Franca. I'm just a little bit drunk, I think. How are you?
I'm well.
You know who is a shitty wine queen?
Who?
Emil would be. I just tested him and he's just not the wine queen.
Well, you could. It's all right to think that he is not a great wine queen, but you don't have to say mean things about him.
What do you want to tell me? Hello, everybody. Yeah. What do you want to tell me? You want me to tell me how to make my job?
What do you mean?
You want to tell me how I should do my job here? Do you want to be elected? Do you
No,
want to
I was just asking.
I was just saying that you have a higher chance.
But I was just hoping we could be a little bit more polite.
Little bit more. Polite. This is not how it works. I can still sense that you're not from here. This is a shitty place. This is fucking Himbledorf. We're not supposed to be polite to each other. We're just drunken, backwatered, rural, nonsensical people not having a place in the future of this world. Huh? Or what? Goodbye. Yeah, thank you for coming. So do you want to become wine queen? Yona
Well-
is shit. Yona is just talking bullshit.
How can you say that about your own family member?
I expelled her already a long time ago. She moved away here, although she had like every opportunity to take over my business, her father's business. Like,
You
she had all the
yourself
chance
said
and she
this is
didn't.
an awful place. So why would she want to take over your business?
But if you sit on top, you shit on everybody, and they can't shit on you.
I'm going to go get some more wine. Goodbye.
No, you don't. Stay with me. Do you want to become wine queen? I ask you one
Please
last
let
time.
go of me. Ugh.
I can make you the wine king, and you can travel with me for a whole year. Do you want that or not?
Well, I don't want you manhandling me.
What kind of is that something you learned from somewhere? Do they teach that nonsense in school? I'm just a little bit egoistic, but it's good for the whole world. A little bit egoistic. They call it
Not
capitalism.
really. I think you should sit down here, Andreas. I think you've had a little too much wine.
I think if I sit down now, I can't get up anymore. My groins are sore, I tell you.
Oh. Here, Anton. Unfroze it. Unfroze it.
There's the taxi. Let's get in.
I ordered this one. This is my one for me and for Emil. You have to wait for your one.
There's a large cabin. We can fit all in. Come on.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
Don't push me in. Not so
I'm
hard.
Please don't touch there.
Franca, come sit next to me.
Oh yes, I think I will.
Emil, you can fit on my lap. Come on.
Oh, here, Andreas. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Emil,
there's enough room. We'll just scoot over a little.
Emil, sit here. I will fit between the two of you.
I'm fine where I am, Dad. Come on. You don't have to control everything all the time.
Uncle, you accuse me of things. What's this? Having contestants sit on your lap? That doesn't seem like a proper wine queen needs to have decorum.
Emil, why don't you come sit over here with us?
Next to her, Andreas.
Come on, we're all contestants. We sit together, right? We're in this together. We're a team. You can sit on the other side of Franca.
Okay.
Contestants. It sounds like
Yeah, contestants. A toast to the contestants. Zum Wohl.
Zum Wohl.
That I brought this bottle of strawberry bowl with me.
Oh, I've tried that. Oh, that is good.
You mean this strawberry that I remember?
That exact strawberry. I've had a sip or more sips from that exact bottle.
I've never wanted to be wine queen so badly after having had as much wine as I did at that party. It was so delicious. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Oh my god, it was so good.
Good to have you visit me.
Emil, why don't you have a little water?
I can't water. I'm gonna be the wine queen, Franca. I don't need water. I'm immune to water.
Franca,
you
come on.
didn't have to spill it all over me.
Oh.
Sorry, the taxi is like driving like left and right, left and right. It's hard to hold.
Uncle, I know you don't think that much of me, but it's time to bury the hatchet. Like, I'm home, I've traveled and I came back for a reason, we're family. I don't know why you don't think, that I'm a good person, but I am, and I'm here. And
I'm sorry, niece, but Anton, come on, buddy. Anton is my buddy. He's closer family to me than you've
yeah,
been
you
because
two
you
are.
haven't been here for so many years.
Oh
I
yes, yes.
needed to get some life experience, but that doesn't mean I don't belong.
Doesn't
I
mean
got
that
to
you
talk to
don't
Anton
belong.
earlier, and it was so nice, being back and home and having a nice glass of wine.
Yeah,
So
you
delicious.
come back for every summer, and then you say you're gonna stay, and then you leave every summer. Like, let's be honest.
Why would I enter this if I didn't want to be the wine queen?
She's the best. She even went to the US. Isn't that right, Jonna?
Because Jonna,
Amelia,
you're
you're
just
too kind.
mean. What's up with Jon? Oh, Franka, are you okay? Are you okay?
No. My eyes are just a little watery.
Franca, here, let me put
Have
my
something
arm
in
around.
my eye.
Oh my
Come
God.
lean on my shoulder, Franca.
She's crying.
Hey, Franca, come here. Whatever's bothering you, can tell me. Like,
I think I have to get out here. Sorry, I'm home. See you tomorrow.
Oh, bye, Herr Andreas. Bye. Oh,
Bye, Andreas.
he left.
bye, Uncle. Franca, what's wrong, love?
Oh, I'm just very stressed.
I know this is and we've all been drinking, and it's stressful. And I'm sorry, I was arguing with my uncle in the taxi. It was all my fault. But he's gone now, and we're here together. And if I can comfort you in any way, like, if you need someone to talk to tonight, I'm totally available for any kind of comfort.
It's fantastic. I think I think you will win tomorrow. I think, Emil, this will be wonderful.
I will win. Who will win? I will win. You
I
will
think
win.
so.
The best contestant to the best contestant.
The best contestant.
Zum
Too well, indeed. Like,
Dad, this is the life. I understand now. This is how it's supposed to be. That's how you make a vineyard. That's how you make it work.
exactly.
I'm frozen. I'm
Let's take a 5 minutes break and then we discuss the final act.
Sure.
So we are all back. If you like, we can have our camera on, but you don't have to. For a quick discussion, there are no decisions to be made in the final act about scenes. First of all, the question, is everybody fine? Are you all okay? And ready for the final act? Good. Or otherwise, you could also just blink. So the final act is about the crowning of the queen. So we have a queen at the end of the act. First of all, there's an opening speech by Anton, because it's his winery where this is happening. And so Anton is giving like a summary of the wonderful time we had together, and what beautiful moments we had between the candidates and the jury and the audience, and what special time that is. Yeah. And second is we have a final speech by each candidate with the jury there, so the jury can interact with the candidate. So it's one candidate after another, and after that, the candidates, the three of them, meet together one last time, and they are excited and are like, who will be called to the stage. And then the jury meets and discusses who will be the next queen. If we can't come to an agreement, the jury head, so Andreas, decides who is the next queen. However, then the next year will be very difficult and complicated. We should come to agreement if possible. And then we have a scene with everybody when the winner is announced, and the winner can give like a last speech, and whoever disagrees can jump in or do whatever they want. That's like completely free. Maybe we have a happy ending. When the game is over, we switch all our cameras and microphones off and stretch ourselves, taking a deep breath. If we have like props on, then we take them off and we say to ourselves that we are not our characters anymore. And when we feel ready, we switch the camera on, but not the microphone. And we wait together until everybody is there and looking at each other. I like that moment. And when everybody is there, then we can say whatever we want. This is not the debriefing yet, but it's the debriefing starts then with the debrief moderator looking at his or her piece and doing what is described there. Yeah. Okay, sorry, Noella, I didn't see that you weren't back yet. Shall I iterate again what the scenes are about, or are you okay? Yeah. Yeah. So Act 3 is the crowning of the queen. So there are no decisions to be made about scenes; they are all fixed. And we start with the opening speech by the host, and then each contestant can give like a little last speech to convince the jury. So that's a scene with the contestant and the jury. And then the three candidates are alone backstage, probably excited who will be the next queen. Then the jury meets and discusses who will be the queen. If they can't come to an agreement, the jury head, that is Andreas, me, will decide. And finally, there's a scene with everybody in where the new queen is announced, and the winner can hold a final speech, and whoever wants to jump in can do so. Yeah, when the game is over, we sing a last Ein Prosit together. That's obligatory at the last scene. And then we switch our cameras off and stretch ourselves, get out of character. When we return, then we are out of character and we can say whatever we want, in order that when you come back out of character, you just put your camera on, not your microphone, and wait until everybody is back. And when everybody is back on camera, then we can unmute ourselves. So don't talk before everybody is back. Yeah. And the debriefing, the proper debrief starts a little bit afterwards. The debrief moderator will take care of that. And there's in the document a little preparation what to do then. You can actually just more or less read what is there. Sounds good. Do you all feel prepared for the last act? Not yet, Pavel?
Let's do this.
Yeah, cool. All right. Then I go off camera. Things will unfold.
Is this working? Oh, yeah, yes. Good evening. We are, ladies and gentlemen, zum Wohl, yes. We are slowly coming toward the end of the gala of this wonderful 4 days of celebrating our wine and wineries and our candidates. It was a wonderful time. I have to say, it's being a host for this wonderful evening, for this wonderful event was wonderful. Probably we all drank too much wine. Yes. Zum Wohl, everyone. Zum Wohl.
Zum Wohl. Prost.
Definitely, I have to say that that the most surprising moment was when I learned that my neighbor is also opening the winery. Miss Diana had decided to join the business. It was the most surprising. Her fields were just next to my one. We shared a lot of stories. I wish her all the best. The more wineries in the region, the better. However, I have to say that the thing that warmed my heart, the best comment I have ever heard, was that my wine, the summer flower, is the best wine from this region, and it was such a honey to my heart after the recent problems we have had. Summer flower, wonderful. It's slowly being sold out. Everyone, there's just like a couple of crates left. So if anyone wants to grab a bottle, it's better never, faster than never. And I have to say that the most I think the most heartbreaking moment is still to come. Who will be the most who will be the wine queen or the prince for the next year? But so far, the last night dance was full of revelations. It was such a nice opportunity to dance with everyone, to talk with all of you, with the candidates, with the rest of the jury. I learned a lot in this dance, and yes, come on!
Let's welcome on stage Franka. Anton, what do we have to say about this candidate? What did we learn?
I think it is best to first let the candidates show us first their intelligence, their knowledge, to surprise us with what they know. So yes, Franka, please take the stage for your final speech, and then we will come to questions.
Yes. Thank you, esteemed guests, for being here. It's a privilege to be here, and I am very glad to be a candidate this year. This means a lot to me. My whole life, I've struggled to fit in and be a full member of this community, and I see this as an opportunity to show all of the neighbors and community members how much of a Himmeldorf native that I've become, and I am
Himmeldorf.
really.
I know that you're not so familiar with the name yet. Himmeldorf. Yeah.
And I would really. I'm really excited to be able to showcase our wines to the rest of the world. Thank you.
Sumol.
So, Anton, what do you think? Would she make a good wine queen?
Of course, I think this candidate is quite promising. They know of some of our wines, some of our wineries. They have stayed in this region for some time.
Yeah. For somebody who's
Please, Franca, if you can tell which wine and from which winery is, in your opinion, the best-selling product of the last year.
Well, I believe that the Autumn Breeze wine from Herr Andreas's winery did quite well during the Christmas season.
good taste. Good taste, yes. What makes it special?
Well, it's definitely a wine meant for the holidays, meant kind of having those fall spice undertones for especially well paired with vegetables that bloom in the fall, like pumpkins, and then also it goes well with the Christmas meal as well.
Wow, yeah, that's quite knowledgeable. I'm quite impressed by this candidate. This will be a very tough afternoon to make a decision. Anton, do you have any further questions?
Nope. That's all I can to say. The election of the wine queen in the next region are next month. Who knows what will happen?
Yeah.
Thank you, Franca. If we can have.
I rose it. I rose it. Give me rose it. I rose it.
Jana, please, if you can join us on the stage. Yes, this microphone is working. Such a lovely time that you have found some time to come back to your home and to take part in this competition. Please, what final thing do you have to tell to everyone listening and to the jury?
Well, I think, the benefit of having traveled is learning that what you get at home you just can't find anywhere else. I've been to lots of places and seen a lot of cultures and drunk a lot of wine, and being back, there's just nothing like it. And I feel like I have a lot to offer in terms of spreading the word about the wines of our home. People don't know about it, but like here we like they wouldn't think we would make much, but we have Gewürztraminer and Spätburgunder and Grauburgunder and Riesling and all these things that people aren't even aware that we produce such wonderful wines here. And I would love to spread that. The places I've been already, I know the cultures, and I think I could provide an entryway to really, really put us on the map the way we should be. Being home has been It's just such a lovely thing, and I want to spread that to the rest of the world and be a part of it.
Can I get more of this bottle, or mine is empty? Sorry. Yeah. Are you finished already?
Well, I assume you have questions for me. I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm happy to answer any questions that either of you have for me.
Anton?
So, is there anything else except this competition that is keeping you to stay here with us for the next year, or is it only this title?
Well, of course, if I were to win, we'd be traveling. So I think my heart would be torn having to leave town again when I've only returned so recently, and it is so good to be home. But like I said, any chance to really let the world know about how wonderful it is here, I would take. But also, just being here, meeting everyone, like Franca, for example, meeting her in the competition, it's just a wonderful thing to be home. So, if I don't win because someone else was chosen, then I'm lucky to have been here and to have had this wonderful experience. And if I do win, then I'll be lucky to spend a year promoting our wonderful town and everything we have to offer.
Jonna, why did you go away in the first place if this is also wonderful here?
Well, I think sometimes you don't know how wonderful something is until you've left, right? And like I said, I think being away really absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? So I got to.
What? Pro what?
Do I beg your pardon?
Did you pro what? I didn't get your. I don't know that word. Wherever you picked that up in the States or somewhere, I don't know.
All I'm saying is that being away from home has reminded me of what's wonderful about being home. And I think I appreciate everything we have here so much more than I ever could have had I had experiences elsewhere. I really realized all of the things of value that we have, or not just the wine, the community, and it's a wonderful place. And while all of my travels have been lovely and I've enjoyed them, being home, it really touches my heart.
So, if you are so well traveled, please tell us what methods of education about problems caused by overconsumption of alcohol do you think? What is your responsibility as a wine queen in promoting the healthy way of life, which is to stay, not so much to consume right amount of alcohol rather than overdo it?
Well, I think a wonderful way to start would be to host wine tastings where we do flights, but each glass would only be, a third full or something of that nature, so that no one would be over drinking, but everyone would get to sample all that we have to offer. And we could talk about food pairings and just, enjoying a nice glass of wine with dinner. And every time we describe an experience with the wine, we could describe a responsible method of consumption. So we're promoting, enjoying drinking it, but also drinking it responsibly. Does that answer the question properly?
Probably, yeah, I think so. I don't want to be partial because you're on my knees. So I'm a little bit like in a weird position here. But I think you probably could be a queen.
I'm pro.
Thank you, Uncle.
I'm
Emil, please, my wonderful son, please come to us on the stage.
Thank you, Father, and thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, Emil.
Good to see you again. Yes.
Yes, Andreas, it's good to be here again after the party yesterday.
Yeah, Emil, I know you since you were a child. I saw you playing in this sandbox. I saw you going to school and celebrating your final exams. Now I see you here on stage after these long weeks of training for this moment. Do you have a speech prepared?
Listen, everyone, I know I don't have much experience, but definitely the experiences I've gathered throughout this this contest, this amazing tradition of our hometown Himbledorf, has given me a lot of new insights. And if I may say, I know I didn't know a lot about wine, but I feel like I understand the spirit of our village now. And I think if you give me the opportunity, I can be a really good representative of our region, of the Queen, so to speak. I can combine the summer flower of my family, of my father Anton. I know people have said that this is not correct, that my father is the host, but I think I can be the right wine queen after what I've seen, after what I've experienced. So, Herr Andreas, I also remember you from back in the day when I was at school, and now.
Yes.
And I think you are lovely. I think you are the true spirit of our community, and I want to join you with every power that is in my hand and in the grapes of the vineyards here to really make Himbeldorf speak out for Germany and for the whole in the wine world.
Yes, wonderful.
Emil, you have learned so much. It's like this was definitely the best speech of the day. Incredible.
I believe I have. And when I look at my father now, I feel that we have more of a connection. I feel I really get what he sacrificed to get where he is now. All these accidents, all these things, yes. But you can ask me more questions. I'm sorry. I also have a bit of a headache, but yeah, from yesterday. But yeah.
I don't know what you mean with accidents, but we don't need to go into that further, right?
No. I'm sorry. I'm just speaking out of yeah.
But can you again? I just have this final question. Can you again, because we had this before, explain the different flavors of wine for a proper wine tasting for us?
I was hoping you were going to ask that.
I'm frozen. I'm frozen. I'm frozen.
I can't believe this competition.
Wow.
This has just been absolutely insane.
Ah.
Like, Emil doesn't seem to know anything, but I feel like something weird is going on with him and Uncle Andreas and you. Oh my God, if that's what wins this competition.
Björn,
Oh
I
my God.
know what's going on. Now I know. Now I
Like-
know what's going on.
But you know, if he does win, that's all the more opportunity for me to whisk Franca off somewhere. And I have all kinds of things I'd like to teach her, if you know what I mean. Oh, goodness.
Does Emil really
But-
just see me as like an outsider? I thought we were friends.
I feel like Franca and I are too good for this town. We're too good for this town.
I think I see the real wine now. I read the real light. You know, Franca is my best friend, but she's not from here. I'm from here, and Yona was away. I'm the one who should be. This is like Hogwarts, but with wine. This is the best place. I know how to. I know how to honor my family now. I know I can win this. I know I can.
I mean, really, like, it's so obvious to me that I should win. Like, my answers were polished. I have entryways into the cultures of different communities. Like, if they don't pick me, it's because my uncle has sabotaged things or something. Like, you know, and fine. If you, like I said, all I really want is Franca at this point. But really, I should win. Like, we all know
Has everything I done for him meant nothing? Am I just another obstacle to him becoming the wine queen?
I don't even feel like the other contestants like named any of the wines from the region, let alone have experience with like tasting wines elsewhere for comparison. I mean, come on.
Franca can she has been of great help, but I see it now. I mean, strawberry, that's the solution. I mean, Yona has been to the US, so what? I can go there in the US with Herr Andreas, and I I feel like I can really find the meaning of life here, just right here. I think this is it.
I honestly feel bad for Emil. I mean, the way he couldn't answer the question. I tried to help him out in the first one just because I felt bad for him. Like, I mean, I originally thought I would just embarrass him because like he obviously doesn't know anything, but like it was
Anton, my buddy, come in my arms.
Andreas, yeah, such a busy couple of days.
Yes, I am. I will be so happy when this is over. What about you?
I just hope we agree to who is winning, and then we can get all of this time done. I just could really sleep it off. Didn't have much sleep the last couple of days.
Okay, you want to go straight to business? It's fine for me. Let's go through the list. Yona, my niece. What do you think?
Well, she obviously knows a lot, but last summer, the summer before, she came and she left. She came, she left. I just think she just doesn't like our region. Just comes here for holidays.
Yeah, and she's using all these words I have never heard before. I don't want to look stupid next to a wine queen. Wine queens are still supposed to look stupid, right?
Wine queen are supposed to be, not nice looking
And nice looking.
and
yeah.
handsome.
And handsome. So we have like plenty of arguments speaking in favor of your son.
course.
Stupid and handsome.
It really hurts me that you say so, but he's handsome.
And stupid.
Well, not saying about the person who says who rents not working equipment. It's
Come on, you said we shall not talk about the past. We have a third option. What do you think about Franca?
Why do we even need to talk about the third option? I think we are already decided on the second one.
I can have fun with Emil for a couple of months. You want that? Is that okay for you?
It really. I thought we had some things going on, but I see you're just an old fart as you are.
I'm in favor of Franca.
Oh, so you seduced my son, and now you wanna just exchange him for some chick?
Franca is reliable. She will be here. She will be around, and she at least knows the basics.
She isn't from here. Like, people will be looking down on this. She isn't from this region. I don't like the idea.
Prosit,
it.
der Gemütlichkeit. Ein Prosit,
Ein Prosit,
der Gemütlichkeit.
Prost.
Prost.
Let's get back on stage. Welcome, everybody from Himbeldorf, and thanks for 500 visitors. It's good to have you all here. Anton, what a special week.
Yes, it was.
3 candidates, each of them more qualified than the other. Difficult decisions to be made. Weird, we only had like 30 minutes and it was hard. We were thinking back and forth. Anton, have you ever experienced such a difficult decision? I know in the past your father was like always coming back home from this and saying like, "Oh my God, I did the wrong decision. I couldn't decide. It was just drawing a straw." How was
the decision? Was really simple. You were just making it difficult.
You think so? Candidates, come on stage. Come all on stage. Let's have a glass. I give you one if you don't have one.
Come on, Franca.
Prost,
the time
Emil.
has come.
Franca.
You can stand by me.
Jonah.
Prost.
So vote to our candidates.
So.
Prost.
It was tough between Anton and me. With me having a niece in the race and with him having his own son here, we were torn. So we couldn't agree on a candidate at the beginning. But the further we discussed and the more we got into the topic and thought about all the aspects it needs for a proper wine queen, present the region, travel a lot, not much sleep, being reliable, living here in town and really breathing the spirit of a wine region, knowing wine from morning to night, understanding that it is more than just like wine tasting, but also the process of making wine, living with the upsides and downsides, exploding machinery, even like where business could be destroyed in a moment. There can only be one proper decision. And I think it is time to announce a decision we have made for a candidate highly suitable, very knowledgeable, willing to learn, willing to regret further mistakes from the past. So I hold my glass up and say, ein Prosit. Come to me, come a bit closer. Emil, Emil, it's good to see you. Come into my arms. Yes. We have our new queen. Do you have some final words for us, Emil?
I'm the queen. I'm the
Let's
queen.
applaud all our queen.
Small! Small!
Symbol.
Oh my god! Amazing. This is what I dreamed of. This is what my father dreamed of. This is what Himbledon dreamed of.
Is this your speech? Can you continue?
This is my speech, and this is believe it's me. I believe in you. I love you. I love everyone, and I love especially Herr Andreas. I love you. I love you for being the guide, the guiding star in this path. It has been very difficult for me. And I vow to bring some strawberry flavor in the wines of the region.
Ein Prost.
Prost. Prost, I'm so happy.
Candidates. Blanca,
This is
Fiona, I hope you had a good time. Next year again.
Sure. I'll go. I'm sure that it seems like you were clearly impartial in your decision. That invitation for embrace to the winner. How sincere you must be in your enthusiasm.
Thank you.
Proud to be a member of this family. So honorable.
Franka, next year you were a fantastic candidate.
Perhaps.
Yes, Franka, please take part next year. It will be wonderful.
Franka, come into my arms. I would never have made it without you.
Emil, wonderful, amazing. My beloved son, this will be a very good year for us.
It will be.
It will be with Andreas and everyone joining me to make Himbledorf the best. The meaning of wine. Thank you. This is amazing. This is a dream come true.
Let's sing together. One last time. Everybody on stage.
Ein Prosit,
ein Prosit der Gemütlichkeit. I say something. I can't hold myself any longer. Yes. And Noella is back as well. Cool. Okay, we can all unmute ourselves, and the game is over. And the first what we can do is just say whatever we have to say. And so I'm not Andreas anymore. And I'm very happy not to be Andreas anymore. I can be kind to you again.
You were so delightful and creepy.
Yeah, it's
It's
always
great.
special for me to make contact with somebody. To get in touch with, so to get to know somebody, Vasilis. First time in a game like this, making a lasting impression. Oh, the cute cat is with us again.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
The only
There was-
innocent in this game.
Yeah.
There was no way I was interrupting the Andreas and Emil scenes. Yeah, I was like, we can go forever without the song. I will just sit here and watch.
Yeah.
Delightful. So, what have you to say, our magnificent game creator?
Yeah. I'm half through with my wine, and that feels good.
Yeah, I think I'm also half through the. I had like a half bottle to start with, so now it's empty.
Perfect. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Whatever you want to say it now. After that, we go to the proper debriefing part.
I'm just cracking up that it's 12:30 in the afternoon, and I've had more to drink today than I've had in the last several months combined. Juno was a character who liked to drink, and I like to fully embody my characters. And I also ran out of water in the room, so back to wine it went. But I hope that my role playing didn't suffer too much for a bit of tipsiness.
Not at all. You were simply the best.
Oh, thank you. Everyone was the best. I thought this was so lovely.
There was one unqualified queen.
The one who won.
Yeah,
perhaps?
and Emil was wonderful.
Yeah.
Emil was wonderful. The unqualified and the most lovely.
Wonderful portrayal, Vasilis.
It was interesting. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I really enjoyed the strangely the wine drinking suited the character's arc. So I think it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So, Noella, you were the only qualified and reliable candidate. Do you want to start with the debriefing?
Sure.
Cool. So there is a procedure at the end of the game. You can follow that or do your own, however you like.
Yes, I will follow this one, and it'll be about 15 minutes. So everybody will say something. Don't comment directly on what somebody else said, and during this time, don't directly criticize another player. If there's something that you want to say, kind of think it over for a couple of hours, and if you still have if there's criticism or an issue that you want to bring up, just contact Garrett, me, the other player, kind of after we've all kind of had time to cool down and discuss it. So now we're gonna discuss the game and your experience. So first, we're going to do a moment in the game that you found fascinating or worth mentioning. And so don't just talk about your own experience. Don't continue what another person said.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we're going to share a personal thought now that the game is over. It can be something reflected in your life, something about the game design, or anything else you consider worth a thought and connected to your personal experience. So again, the first thing we're going to talk about is a moment in the game they found fascinating or worth mentioning. I'll go last, and we can go in a circle across the screen. So first is Garrett.
Okay. Well, I think the order of the people in the screen are different depending on each.
It's alphabetized, except you're at the person, like you are at the end of your own screen.
Ah. Oh, that is interesting. Something I learned 2 weeks before the service shuts down. Thank you, Noella. That's cool. Finally a pattern. So, well, because I wrote the game and it's the 4th time I played it, I can say the replayability is high. And I find that fascinating because it's so structured, it's so rigid. But yes, for sure, the players bring life to the characters. But more importantly, I have my good friend Julian, a German who is also in the Gauntlet, always says that the games, although we sometimes call them story games, are not about story, but about the way we experience them, like how, yes, Julian Kluge, and the way we go through them. And that was so much true. And so I enjoyed the building up of tension from scene to scene and how it made me engage with the story more and more from moment to moment. And that was something I found, again, very, very fascinating. And I would even say in no other game of the Election of the Wine Queen, I found it more than in this one.
And then Pavel.
I think the most fascinating moment for me was the second act, because for like the beginning of it, I was not playing. I only got to observe, and it was fascinating to see how things are building up that then I could use in a conversation. Yeah, it was like, because I really like how the second act is structured, that then the characters get like interact and talk and show what they think, who they are. Yeah, I think this was the fascinating thing for me.
And then you, Pearl.
It's so I have 2, and I've been trying to pick between them, and I'm just really bad at deciding things, even when I'm not tipsy. So like I'm gonna give 2, but I'll make it really fast. So one was the cellar scene, because it was just kind of hot. I was like gross, but also hot. I don't know. But the other one was, I really liked the taxi scene, where everyone was together and kind of drunk, and so more honest with each other and kind of interacting in ways that we weren't in other scenes. So I think that was probably, for me, the most interesting scene, was waiting to see how people would react when like crammed into a small space and drunk, and I really liked the way it played out.
And then you, Vasilis.
Yeah, it was really a very interesting experience. I think the taxi scene was also one of my favorites, where everyone was together intoxicated, and we showed parts of ourselves that were a bit different. I also liked a lot the behind the scenes jury head and host scenes, which were, I don't know, at the same time very personal but also brutal in a way. And I like the wine, which sounds like the wine drinking sounds like a gimmick, but it's I don't know. I think it really helps the game. I don't know. I really liked experiencing the whole the wine drinking and the song interruption. It gave me an interesting, very fascinating way actually to go into the follow the characters. So yeah, I think I mentioned 3 things, but yeah, that's it.
So I think the most interesting moment for me was when Franca was like trying to like support Emil and like really help him, and then he was like, "Oh, but of course it's gonna be me because you're still an outsider." And it was just like, you know, this person that I'm trying to been like really support and be a good friend to is like, well, I'm still better than you. So that was a really interesting moment just for those characters. Okay, so the next round is we're each going to share a personal thought that you have now that the game is over, and we can go in the same order.
Once again, what's the question?
You can share any personal thought that you have now that the game is over. It can be something reflected in your life, something about the game design, or anything else you consider worth mentioning and connected to your personal experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's as the designer, it's it was interesting. It was the first time since the Codex Sunlight edition was published, and it not only feels good to see a game in such a polished format than just the Word or Google document, but it also helps facilitating, and I appreciate that a lot. And so I say big thanks to the layouters in making this a polished, published version. And it's interesting to me that because everybody has a very different idea about what these games we play are about. And here I play something I wrote, so it follows my stream of thoughts. And I always wonder if it makes sense for other people too. And because I can see that it is exactly how I would order or structure the material and how much time I would spend on which part of the game. And it makes me very happy to see it turn out as I hoped it would in this published format. Which also is thanks to you, because you made it alive. But that is something I take out of the game design experience I had from designing this game and then playing it and see what it actually is. Because it is nothing when it's just written. It needs to be played, in my opinion.
I always have trouble in such games format. Like I played some other game. It was some Western where we had to somehow decide who's wrong, who's bad. It's so difficult for me to have some arguments that are not given in the game. Like the arguments against Franca that I had was like, she's not from here, and I was just like, it's not so good argument, but I want my son to win, so that's like pretty much like settled. But then it was also like interesting to consider: do I want my son or daughter in this example to be with this like old jury that I used to be with that I want to be with? It was like it was like an interesting conflict, but I always have trouble to like. I really wanted to like push on some passive aggressiveness, but I couldn't find any arguments to like even make an attempt. But it was interesting experience to play a game where you have to like invent something or create something. I don't think I have much experience with like drinking or not drinking or any wine really that I can link it to. So it was just an interesting experience for me. Because I never played such a format where we are in character going from scene to scene, beginning, not saying what we do. It was a very interesting experience. Online LARP. That's it. Zum Wohl.
Oh, it's me. Sorry about that. It's interesting because Juna, like didn't actually take it seriously and would have dropped it if she'd won. But I've actually been in the position of being someone who was like the most qualified and like had things held against me that weren't like, had Juna been sincere and really come back from her travels and wanted to be wine queen to represent her town, that is the kind of experience I've actually had in real life. And felt like I was passed over for reasons, similar, like something having to do with a relative or a lover or whatever else. So it was interesting to play a character who was similarly like passed up despite being like clearly the most qualified in pretty much every way, but like knowing that she would have been a jerk about it. I don't know, it was a weird contrast because part of me was like genuinely indignant. Like, how could they have selected Emil over me after all I did? And then part of me was like, I'm gonna go off with Franca and have like awesome lesbian adventures everywhere. And I noticed about myself that in games like this, I really, really want to push like emotions and personal relationships. And I was hoping to actually yell at someone or like have sex with someone or something, and never quite got the chance. And I would play it again and see if I could figure that out or play something else. I don't know, but I really like games that push boundaries and aren't afraid to go where actual humans go. So even though I wasn't the one who did that in this game, I really enjoyed that happened in this game and wasn't shied away from. And it made me think more about the kinds of games I want to pursue in the future, and the kinds of players that I want to play with who aren't afraid to embrace all sides of humanity. So that's my thought.
All right, and me, yeah, I have, yeah, it's an interesting, yeah, it was very nice, very interesting experience. Yeah, but there are some parts like following in someone's footsteps or forced to follow in someone's footsteps, like the beginning of the story of Emil or Emily. I can identify with because I've done that, like following or trying to live up to your parents. So I can definitely see that. I enjoy doing this, yeah, with bold moves or desperate, like changing the character a bit. So I really like that. I really like doing that, and I think the wine, like as I said, the wine drinking helps the arc of the character. I don't know if I was a bit too blunt in the second half and the third, yeah, but I enjoyed doing the change of the character. So I did have fun with that, and I also, yeah, I feel it's very interesting to think about the like some things that I would like to have explored more, like Franca and Emil relationship. It would be really, really interesting to see how the friendship evolves after that. Like how it echoes, like Emil is the wine queen, but Franca was the best candidate, and they're best friends. And I don't know, it's really interesting to think about that. Yeah, but overall, yeah, it was really interesting, and it's really different than yeah, tabletop, where you also describe your character. I think embodying the character and even drinking is really it's really different. It's closer to, yeah, improv and theater. But also as a player, I think you feel things that can surprise you. So I think, yeah, I think it's really illuminating. And I look forward to playing more laogs and larps. Yeah. So thanks.
It's interesting because I feel like in a lot of games, I initially create a character a certain way, but then like my own like personality and values just kind of end up shaping how I play the character. And just like terms of like in this game, just being like a little bit more like, I don't know, nice and sensitive. Like even when Andreas was being an asshole, I was like, should I yell at him? And I didn't end up yelling at him. And then I feel like just like the way that I was like flirting with Yona, was kind of how it was very much how I would talk in real life too. I mean, I don't know if it's a bad thing or not, but I just think it's interesting how much I shape all of the characters that I play, even when I have a certain like idea of what they should be in my head. Well, so that's the end of the debrief.
Thank you very much, Noella, for taking over that part. Even if it's just in short introduction, I feel a big relief, not in quotation marks, moderating that. Thank you all for playing the game with me and with everybody else. It was a very pleasant and interesting experience for me. I will stop the broadcasting. If you want, you can stay a little bit longer, but you can also just leave. I say goodbye to a virtual audience and stop broadcast button now.